Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel SK Tech. Today we are going to discuss about the new topic that is called recursion. So what is recursion? So a method calling itself is known as recursive and the phenomenon is called as recursion. So it is possible to write the recursive method in Java also. So let us take an example to find the factorial value of a given number. So how we can find it? So factorial value for a given number is defined something like number multiplied by number minus 1 multiplied by number minus 2 and so on. Right. So let's go to the IntelliJ IDE and first write the method without using the recursion functionality. So let's go to the IntelliJ IDE and write simple Java programs. So let's say we want to create simple method like static long factorial, and here we are going to provide the value that we want to calculate the factorial, right? So int number. So here what we need to do, we need to write the logic like number should be greater than 0. Why? Because number becomes 0 means whole number will become as 0, because to calculate the factorial we need to multiply it, right? So that's why we need to check this condition, and then here let's say return some variable like long fact and 1, and here we have to write the logic like fact equal to fact multiply by number, and we need to update this number as number minus 1, so that next time it will become as a less than the provided number. Let's say 5, so it will become 4, then 3 and then 2. So this is how the looping will work, right? And at last we need to return this factorial. So to call this function here, let's write some statement like factorial of 5, and let's write another statement where we are going to call this factorial method and then provide the value. So let's say since this is a static method, we can call with the help of class itself. So simple dot factorial and provide the value as 5, and if you run this program you will see the output of the factorial of 5. So yeah, so it is printing like factorial of 5 is 120. And let's see how we can write this same function using the recursion. So basically there are multiple advantages of using the recursion. At the first time you might feel like it is very complex, but once you understand that, it will be very easy for you. Main advantage of using the recursion is like to break the big problem into the sub problem. Right now here if you want to calculate the factorial of the 5, so what we are doing, it is decrementing the value one by one and then it is calculating it, right? So similarly if you can break it this value in some problem, let's say 5 we want to calculate it, so if we can divide it like 4 3 2 1 and so on, in that case main problem can be divided into the sub problem, and if we solve the sub problem, main problem will be solved automatically. How it is? So let's write the same method here and give some different name. So in the recursion, first you have to identify the base condition. What is base condition? So base condition is like when the function is going to call itself, when the function is going to stop. So that is called base condition. So let's say we want to stop in this case when the number becomes 1. So we'll write logic like if number is equal to 1, then factorial of number 1 is like 1 itself, right? So return the 1. Otherwise just create a simple one variable, let's say long, and give the name as result, and inside the result let's call this factorial method factorial 1 and provide the number minus 1 multiply by number. So what we are doing here is like, let's say we want to calculate the factorial of 5, so we want to calculate again factorial of 5 minus 1 means 4 multiply by the 5. So because if we know the factorial of the 4, we can simply multiply the number 5 and it will become as a factorial of 5. Similarly in the next case, if you know the factorial of 3, simply you can calculate it, then you can multiply this 3 factorial value into 4, so it will become as a 4. So continuously if you divide its main problem into sub problem till it's become 1, it is going to give the resultant. So let's see how it is going to perform the operation. Let's first here return it. So what it is happening here is like, if you want to calculate the, let's say, factorial of 5, so it is easy if you know the factorial of 4 and then you can simply multiply by the 5. So this will become as a factorial of 5. Similar way, if you know the factorial of 3 and if you multiply in 4, it will become as a factorial of 4, right? And likewise it can goes on. If you know the factorial of, let's say, 3, and if you want to calculate the factorial of 2, if you know the factorial of 1 and multiply by 2, it will become the factorial of the 2. So base condition, if you know, like we know the factorial of, so factorial of 1 is going to become as a 1 only, right? So this is the base condition and this is the known, right? If you know the factorial of 1, if you multiply by 2, then it will become the factorial of 2. Then again, if you know the factorial of 2 and multiply by 3, it will become factorial of 3. If you know the factorial of 3 and if you multiply 4, it will become as a factorial of 4, and similarly it will goes on. So if you know the base condition, you can simply call the same function with the less than 1 and multiply with the main number, then it will give the total factorial value whichever you want. So right now here we want to calculate the factorial of 5. So we can divide this sub problem in some theoretical way and then we can write the logic. So this is a very simple way to write the logic if you know the base condition. The main thing you need to find it out, like what is the base condition, means what are the minimum things that is we know, and that can become here as a base condition to terminate it for calling in this function again and again. So if you call the same function here now, this is also going to return the same result. So let's run this program and see the output. Yeah, so you can see it is also printing the 120 only. So at the first time you might be feeling like this is a complex other than this, but if you understand, then this logic can becomes as a handy and it will be very helpful for you. So to solve the complex problem, you can divide the complex problem into this smaller sum complex problem. So instead of solving the main complex problem, if you can solve the small complex problem, then you will be able to, with the help of this recursion, you can solve the main complex problem. That is what we are doing. So we want to solve the factorial of 5 number. If we know the factorial of 1, we just need to multiply by the remaining number, right? So here 1 multiply 2, then it becomes 2, 2 multiply by 3, then it becomes factorial of 3. So this is like recursion in Java. We will see more example using the recursion in next upcoming video. So stay tuned. We'll meet you soon. Thank you.